Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Please take a seat. We're going to get started with the program. And it's my great honor and pleasure to first introduce the Dean of our school, Professor Hashim Sarkis, for some remarks.
Thank you, Andres. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to MIT. Given the theme of the conference, we would have really liked to receive you on the ground floor of this building. But like everything at MIT, the ground floor belongs to everybody and therefore to nobody. There is a quirkiness to this campus which makes it what it is, but it does present a dilemma for a campus planner in terms of who owns the ground when it is open to everybody. I guess this is not just a dilemma for campus planners, but to urban designers as well, such as this group today. I do know that you have bigger problems to deal with and challenges than just figuring out who owns the ground floor at MIT. But thank you again for coming, and what an amazing idea the Rez de Ville is, and what an amazing group of people who have managed to pull it together. And thank you all for coming and for bringing it to MIT. And Andres, thanks a lot for facilitating that. One of the mistakes that I still make when speaking in English is to confuse between the ground and the floor. If I drop something, I often say, I dropped it on the ground instead of on the floor. This distinction doesn't exist in Arabic. When you drop something, you drop it al-ard, or in French, par terre. But English clearly distinguishes between the two words, the two realms, the dirt and the pavement, the dirty and the clean, the public and the private, the low and the raised, but only in order to put them back together again in the term, and I would say the concept of the ground floor. This conference brings together a wealth of linguistic and cultural interpretations of this fusion, or of its absence. Indeed, much of what I read, and by the way, the papers are really, truly stimulating. Thanks a lot for sharing them with me ahead. It points to the crisis of growing separation that is emerging in many contexts around the world. But again, reading through the papers, it also brings up new methods and ideas to connect them experientially, ideologically, and importantly, by design. City design, as we call it here at MIT, and I have to be very careful because Gary Hack is here. City design or urban design or civic design, among other nomenclatures, has always been a rather fluid discipline, perhaps in order to adapt to the variety of circumstances and tools utilized in shaping cities around the world. However, in all of its iterations, most of its iterations, it has always been premised on the need to recover connectedness or continuity between the ground and the floor. A continuity that has been taken away by the very processes of urbanization, whether by increasing verticality, by the boundaries created through transportation, or by segregation in its different sorts. After all, what are arcades, café trottoir, the urban parks, even the pilotis spaces, if not design interventions over the centuries in order to recover that continuity? The American artist Cy Twombly would have made an excellent city designer, crafting an art out of erasing the lines that he himself draws on the surface of the painting in order to recover the continuity of that surface. Alas, the surface of the city today looks like an artless version of Cy Twombly, painted over by Jan Gehl, perhaps. Every aspect of the ground floor of the city, every land use is in crisis. Retail, the car, transportation in general, the office, the residence, the pavement. Every aspect yet is up for grabs. And with paint lines, wood planks, and planters, we are trying tentatively, timidly, desperately to reimagine what this new realm could be. Drawing lines for cars or sidewalks, building new sidewalks over parking lots, and popping up temporary functions to fill the vacuums of our urban lives. Yet the biggest challenge still lies in the need to connect these different experiments together and to turn the very separation of sectors that make up the city and the economy and life into a continuum. This is another promise of city design and of this conference. And my hope is that you are able to bring a variety of viewpoints together to construct new horizons for the city. The very idea of bringing a variety of vantage points together is also very much an aspiration of city design, literally, I would say, whether by turning the diversity of frontages on the street into something like a rhythm, a pulse for city to live by and to distinguish itself from other cities, or by recovering with our feet what the eyes have lost by moving into the city. The city is, after all, the loss of the horizon. And yet every city design seeks to recover the horizon, to reconnect with the surface of the earth that our coming together, our density keeps taking away. This necessity of recovering the continuity cannot be more urgent than today. And the promise of recovering it cannot be stronger than in this company, in this room, on this ground, or is it the floor? Good luck.